Donald Trump's morning escapades, and they took place on Twitter. So early today, he tweeted this: Google search results for Trump News shows only the viewing reporting of fake news media. In other words, they have it rigged for me and others so that almost all stories and news is bad. Fake CNN is prominent, Republican conservatives and fair media is shut out. Illegal? 96% of results on Trump News are from national left-wing media. Very dangerous. Google and others are suppressing voices of conservatives and hiding information of news that is good. They're controlling what we can and cannot see. This is a very serious situation, will be addressed. So there are some issues with that. First of all, very tiny note, I don't know why this happened, but Donald Trump tweeted that out early this morning. And then 4 hours later, he tweeted the exact same two tweets. And then he deleted the earlier ones. I could not see any differences between them, so I don't know what that was about. Maybe he just wanted more retweets, but a little bit odd there. And then, what is this about? Because we know Google has put out a statement saying that search is not used to set a political agenda, and we haven't seen any evidence that in the particular area of Trump News that they're manipulating search results to produce some sort of outcome. So what is actually leading to Donald Trump going on this tirade? Well, there's two theories at this point. The first is that on Fox recently there was an interview with Diamond and Silk where they go on to again say that they're being censored on various online sites, social media, Google, things like that. It is irrelevant at this point that multiple independent analyses show that they are not being censored on these sites, not on Facebook, not on Twitter, anything like that. In fact, they seem to be doing quite well historically in comparison to other media outlets. But that doesn't matter. Fox News is a network of white and conservative grievance, and so that's the message that they're going to send. So Diamond and Silk can be debunked any number of times. They're gonna keep spreading their message. So it could be that, or it could be that recently Paula Bolyard, who's the supervising editor for PJ Media and self-described cultural nonconformist, wrote an article saying that she searched Trump on Google News and weighed the results using a media bias chart developed by Cheryl Atkinson, former CBS News correspondent. Bolyard said left-leaning outlets accounted for 96% of the results, with CNN stories making up nearly 29% of the total. She did, however, acknowledge that her methods are not scientific. But why don't we just pretend that they are and have the president of the United States, the most powerful person in the world, simply assert that they are the case? And you'll note, of course, that he used the actual number from her article. So it seems incredibly likely that that information was spread to him, although I find it hard to believe that he actually read it himself. So here are some problems with the president's theory. In terms of when you search for Trump News, does that give you good or bad news? Does it give you an accurate representation of what the news is like in this country? First of all, he seems to believe that Trump News, if you search for that, and if it was fair, that would tell you what's going on in this country. That's not the case at all. Trump News will give you news about Donald Trump. And I've got Trump News for you. The news has been bad for Trump recently. I don't know if maybe he's not aware of this, but his personal lawyer and his former campaign chairman just pled guilty to 16 different election-related counts in terms of money laundering and wire fraud and all sorts of other fraud and all of that. If he believes that the news is gonna be positive towards him in the wake of that, he must be watching a lot of Fox News, because that's not the case. Also, those results that you get when you search for something on Google, they are gonna be manipulated to some extent, but they're manipulated by the fact that some outlets put out far more total news. CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, those produce more articles than dozens and dozens of blogs do on a daily basis. And so if you rate some of those outlets like CNN as left-leaning, which I think is a joke, if you count all of that as left, yeah, it's gonna look like a lot of the news that's coming out is left. I would ask a leftist about whether the news is left when it's coming out from CNN. But more importantly, I apologize, I'm wasting your time by dignifying this with a serious response. The reason Donald Trump is saying this is not that he thinks that Google is actually manipulating the results. He is just advancing conspiracy theories that are very popular on the right now, that every media outlet that exists is in a conspiracy against them, that they're systematically being censored, their views are being manipulated. They're far more popular than they appear to be, the shadow bans and all of that. This is just another step in that. And where it gets dangerous, and the reason that it actually makes it onto the show today, is that Donald Trump says that they might have to look into this. And in fact, within hours of his announcement, his chief economic advisor, Larry Kudlow, came out and said that they will be looking into the possibility that Google search results need to be regulated. What does that mean? God only knows, but I could guess. I could guess what sorts of changes they might want. We've seen, by the way, when Facebook says that they're going to do more to fix fake news. What do they end up doing? They bring on Fox to produce a lot of content for them. They have a board looking into bias in terms of media presentation on Facebook that does not have one liberal body on it. All conservatives and those who would define themselves as centrists. That's what balance looks like to them. Now, would Google actually accede to this? I don't think so. Is this actually going to happen? Probably not. But if you are interested in censorship online and you've been distracted by the BS arguments of people like Alex Jones, here's the real censorship coming. And Donald Trump's very clear in those original tweets about what his what the outcome he is looking for would actually be. Again, I think that it's unlikely that this would actually come, but certainly not impossible at this point. To hear even more about both this topic and other issues not being covered nearly enough by the mainstream media, you're gonna wanna tune in every morning to our full hour-long show. That's at 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, available on the TYT Network channel on YouTube TV.